and welcome to the Houston Element Podcast. My name is Missy, and I'm your host. And today, we're bringing it back to the grassroots over here at the Lab 45 recording studios, back from our earlier episodes, if you remember. And today, we are here with a recording artist, one of the many talented recording artists that recorded here. We are here with Boosted Met.
Hey, what's up?
Pleasure to have you, man. Pleasure to have you,
It's
man.
a pleasure to be here.
Well, I'm so excited that you were able to join us finally on the podcast, man. It's an honor.
Me too. I'm excited.
So for those that are not familiar, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
My name is Boosted Met. I record a lot of my music myself. I produce a lot of my music myself as well. I'm from the Houston area, and I like to work with local artists. I like to do lots of things around the local area. I've been working on music for 2023. I've been releasing music every 6 weeks, and for the last release, I'm going to be doing an album called Pain Equals Profit on December 11th.
Oh, did y'all hear that? We got new music coming out this month. Oh, I'm excited.
Me too. It's going to be good.
Oh, man. So I've been seeing your discography online, and I'm like, you are not playing, sir. You have been releasing like singles like every other couple of weeks this year.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know how many, like 4 or 5, I think, so far that you
Yeah.
released this year, something like that.
At the beginning of 2023, I released one single, and then I decided that every 6 weeks after that, I'd release another one. So I've just been on the grind for it.
Oh my God. Oh my God, man. You are not exaggerating. You are
Yeah.
not even exaggerating, man. Like, ooh, but I'm so excited. We got So, can you tell us about when you started making music?
So I started making music when I was in middle school, probably around 7th, 8th grade. I started producing beats just on my laptop with Ableton. And then one day I was like hanging out with one of my closest best friends. And he asked me like if we could make a rap song. And I kind of like jokingly like said okay and didn't really think much of it. And then once we finally like he convinced me to do it, we got hooked on it, and then me and him just started making music forever. And now I still make music with him to this day. So anytime you see music with Lil Clip, that's who I started making music with.
Oh, wow. Wow, man. So, musician and producer as well. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I bet your brain is like constantly like fighting for the creative wheel. The
Yeah.
musician and the producer. Oh my God. Oh my God. But you're a trooper. You're a trooper
Yeah.
for
I handle a lot of the production that I do myself. Like I do a lot of my visualizers, like just about everything on the back end for my music.
Wow, wow, that's wonderful, man. That's wonderful, man. And you said you've done projects with Little Clip, is that right?
Yes.
And so are you still working with him today?
Yes. I'm actually probably in a few weeks here, we're gonna come to the studio and record.
Nice, nice, man. And and you're an Ableton person. So
Yeah.
I'm not as familiar with Ableton because I'm not the producer person. I'm just the engineer, just the fader pusher, on
Yeah.
Pro Tools kind of things. But how do you like Ableton using it for producing versus just not just laying down tracks?
Well, for when I'm laying down tracks, I use a lot of like Pro Tools. But I like Ableton a lot for producing because probably just because I started using it, but it's really for me it's just simple. The workflow is very straightforward. Um, because I like to just plug in my MIDI keyboard and play in stuff. I don't necessarily, or I'll click in, like just click notes in sometimes too. But I don't really do a lot of like live recording unless I'm doing Pro Tools. So Ableton kind of just seems simple for me.
And that's something I need to invest in in is in a MIDI keyboard because this chicken pecking of notes on Pro Tools. Oh
Yeah.
my God. Oh my God. I mean, I can't see with my glasses on.
Yep.
So trying to like blow up that MIDI keyboard, then I'm like, which one is the C major note again? And I play it off in the whole wrong key, and I'm like,
And they're
this
tiny, and it's impossible to like make them bigger.
yeah, yeah. And I mean, it doesn't actually tell you. It just says 1, 2, 3, 4. It doesn't tell you which is
Yeah.
the C major, and like I don't know how I'm going. Oh
Yeah.
my God, it gives me such anxiety. I hate it. But you like the workflow on Ableton better when it comes for
Yes.
that?
A lot because you can like you can fold down tracks. So if you're like let's say you make like a drum rack in there and you're not using every single notes of a keyboard, you can just fold it down so that way you're only seeing the notes that you're actually using.
What a concept. What a concept. Pro Tools, get it together. But you know what? I guess, just like how ketchup and mustard are both condiments, that doesn't mean ketchup goes on everything.
Yeah.
Some may argue, but it's true. It's true, man. Oh my
No, that's true.
goodness. So, when did you come up with the name Boosted Met? And what is your lyrics and your style inspiration based off?
So Boosted Met for me, when I first created it, I was trying to think of a name to start like releasing music, and I came to Boosted Met because like I'm always like, especially with my grandpa. My grandpa always like he was big about bass. Like there always had to be bass, no matter like if we were watching TV, he had to have like a subwoofer cranked all the way to 10. Like if we're in his car, his subs are completely cranked. Like he just loved bass. So anytime I made music, I would always make sure that I had enough bass in it because if I had to show it to him or wanted to, um, like he would always immediately like say something about the bass, no matter how much there was. So the boosted is like bass boosted, and then met comes from I play a lot of instruments. I was in band for years in marching band, so met because I'm like I always rap on the metronome too, so I'm always right on beat. So boosted met.
Oh my goodness. Vocalist, instrumentalist, producer. I mean, they say you only got two sides of the brain, but I think you got three drivers over there that are also like, nope, that's not on beat. No,
No,
that don't sound flat. No, that's wrong. No.
my
Oh my
brain's all
god.
over the place.
Oh my god. But I tip my hat off to you, man, because that's a
Thank you,
lot of creativity to keep in just one nice, neat little package, man.
thank you, thank you.
So your grandpa was definitely the one to tell you, be like, mijo, mi corazón no se mueve con esta música. My heart does not move with this music. Like, what's going on?
Yep.
I like that, man. I like that, man. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, because I've heard from a lot of people too. Especially when they think of like hip hop and R&B, they're like, having that bass predominant but not overpowering is
Yeah,
very important to the piece.
absolutely.
Based on your experience, what is your advice to find like that good medium? What is that sweet spot that you're looking for?
When I first started making music, I realized I would put a lot of my like notes way too low.
Mm.
Like bass notes would be way too low in octave. So I like to have them like a little bit higher in octave now, um, and then like try and have it sit underneath your mix instead of just trying to fill everything because you're gonna hear that low end. So if you have it underneath and you EQ it right, then you shouldn't have to do too much with levels and you can make it fit in pretty well.
Okay. Okay. I like that. You make it sound a lot easier said than done, but I mean,
No, definitely.
but you
But
got that musical ear, so like you hear things that not just the average bear hears. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like even as an engineer, I'm like, oh yeah, I got a pretty good sense of hearing, but I'm still not hearing it the same way as somebody with your kind of level of understanding of music would hear it too. And especially you got that keen sense of that low end, which
yeah,
just about everybody can hear the mid and the highs, but hearing that low, that is that's a technique on
yeah.
its own.
No, for sure.
Wow,
It's
wow.
definitely hard and it takes a lot of training to get used to it.
Can I ask a hot question, a hot topic
For sure.
question? You get some artists. You may have had some artists also as yourself coming in with beats from straight from YouTube
Yeah.
and MP3 or MP4 format, however it comes in, kind of thing. Sometimes that bass is crazy.
Yeah.
What would be your advice on how to tame bass tracks that are not in the highest of quality?
Um, I would say definitely throw an EQ on it and then pull out your pull out a little bit of your low end like on the extreme lows for sure because if you can do like aggressive EQing on the extreme lows, then when you get to like the mid lows, you'll have a little bit less work to do,
Mm.
but you want to definitely bring things down instead of like you can also bring like your mids and your highs up to try and compensate for that. But
Mm-hmm.
if you try and bring things up too much, you're just gonna get real noisy and it's gonna sound kind of crappy.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if you've heard this from Professor Les over at San Jack, but you always cut before you boost.
No, absolutely. That's definitely one of my biggest like um how you say it like principles like whenever
Mm-hmm.
I'm mixing.
Mm. Okay. Okay. Wonderful. Wonderful, man. So aside from being a master at the low end mixing, what kind of other things do you enjoy to have in your music?
I'm big about like when I'm listening to music, I don't like things being very like flat. I like there being lots of layers and moving parts to it. Um, like even if there's like repeating ideas within the music, I really like having like lots of layers. So if you listen to my music and you listen to my vocals, like there's very few times where I just have one vocal track over the audio. There's usually lots of background vocals, ad libs, and things going on in between.
Okay. Okay. All right. I like that, man. I like that, man. You make it sound so easy. Even me being an engineer, I'm like, but like I need to like be a little parrot over your shoulder one day. Be like, what's he doing over there? Because I've been listening to it, man. And no lie, no lie, your music is very, very full. You know
Thank
what I'm
you.
saying? Like I like it's like a full show in each track. I'm like, oh, this is nice.
Thank you.
I
Thank
don't
you.
have to wait for to listen to the next one to get that itch. Like I'm like,
Yep.
oh yeah. We call that a one hit shop, a one man shop, one stop. You know what I'm talking about, like a stop and go music. Okay, everything that you need right there. Yes, I like it,
Thank
man.
you. Thank you.
I like it, man. I mean, I'm not trying to blow smoke up your ass. Like I'm for real, man. I'm like,
No, I appreciate that. It means a lot for real.
well, real recognizes real. You
Thank
know what
you.
I'm saying? And I recognize the hard work because, man, not to discredit these auto tune engineers and artists. You know what I'm saying? But when some people are like, "Oh, I just want to harmonize," and then all they do is crank the auto tune, I'm like,
It doesn't work. There's got to be like you got to change the tone of your voice. You got to go like kind of out of the octave sometimes,
mm,
or like out of key sometimes to even
mm.
get that sound. But
Take notes, y'all. Take notes. Okay, he laying it down for free. Okay, I'm gonna go back to take notes. Shit. My goodness, man. No, seriously, I'm gonna pick your brain about this music stuff because music theory whooped my in San Jack. Oh my lord. So,
I think definitely being in band and like listening to like classical music a lot because I'm playing it as well and hearing those moving elements definitely gave me a good sense of like how to create those different elements.
and classical music is one of the foundations for any kind of genre that you want to get into for sure.
No, absolutely.
And so, what instrument did you play when you were in marching band?
I played saxophone.
Ooh, ooh. I'm so envious. I'm so envious of my wind instrumentalist because I have asthma. I have to
Mm.
live vicariously through y'all.
Oh, yeah.
So, would you say the saxophone helped with your vocal training as well, with all the air instrument, or was it a different technique that helped you?
um, it probably did help a lot, especially with breathing,
Mm,
because like I have very good control of like my breath and
mm.
like when to breathe and like how to breathe in musical spots to where even if I do breathe while I'm like rapping or saying something, then you don't necessarily hear it or notice it because it's somewhat musical. But
And I mean, I'm ignorant of this because, like, I know, like, with some wind instruments, like, especially with the saxophone, you have the reed that you have to put in there in place.
yeah,
And you have to control the amount of air and saliva that, things like that. Because if you blow into it, it sounds like
yeah,
kind of thing. Like,
because about the vibration of it.
oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's about how when you're blowing into it, you're making the reed vibrate, and the
Mm-hmm.
way the reed vibrates creates tones, and then closing the different keys creates different notes.
Shut the front door, man. Oh, my God, man. So when you were playing the saxophone, did you used to write your own music as well, or did you just play the music that was based off of the instructors?
A little bit of both. Whenever because we had a lot of like, especially with marching band, it's a lot of like, because you're memorizing everything, you don't
Mm.
have a music stand or anything, so you got like a 6 minute show of very intricate music, while also trying to memorize like where you're going. Um, so I was doing a lot of practicing, but between that I would definitely like mess around and try and like write my own stuff, um, and I've even used that in some songs, like I've recorded a little bit over that.
Nice, nice. And so, along with saxophone, you mentioned your MIDI keyboard earlier. So you're fluent with the piano as well, I would presume.
Yes.
Oh wow! So sax, piano. Is there any other instruments that you like to play besides doing vocals?
Drums.
Ooh.
My dad played drums when he was a kid, and then when I was young, that was one of the first few instruments I really got into, other than like guitar. But guitar, I was kind of just messing around with like as a kid. I'm starting to get back into that more, but but yeah, I play drums a lot, and I love drums.
Oh man. Have you worked with any kind of different artists outside of the rap and R&B genre that or any kind of rap R&B genre that incorporates drums and other instruments as well in their music?
A little bit. I haven't really like necessarily played for people,
Mm.
but like I've done lots of like beat production for um like some Afrobeat artists and a couple of like reggae and different things like that.
Oh, so you got people blowing up your phone all day probably talking about, "Bro, this man does not know what bass and percussion is. I need your help.
Yep,
SOS."
pretty much. People will send me beats and be like, "Hey, can you make a better version of this?" And I'll have to like try and navigate how to make like my own thing, because I don't want to just copy someone else's beat, um, and then also like make it like a higher quality.
Right. Yeah, it's like, "Sure, I'll make it better. Let me put this in the trash." And then
Yeah.
redo it all over again, pretty much redo the whole kitchen
Yep.
model.
Exactly.
Oh man. Oh man. Yeah, y'all need to save this man's contact. You need to follow him, okay? Drum and bass. I mean, what else do you need? I mean, I'm telling you, just about anybody can find their way in the mids and the highs, but percussion and bass. Oh my
Absolutely.
goodness. Oh
At
my
Boosted Met
goodness.
on Instagram.
Okay. Okay. Send your request and your referrals and you will not be sad. You will
Absolutely.
not be
If you need
disappointed.
beats, I can sell beats to you. If you need anyone to mix master tracks, I got that too.
Y'all go on and do it. Go on and do it. So let's get to talk about some of these singles that you released this year. So just a couple to name a few. We have Tropicana,
Yep.
okay, and Top of the Mountain, which, if I'm not mistaken, you performed recently at the open mic here a few weeks ago. Is that correct?
No, I actually performed a song that's going to be on my upcoming album.
Oh, yum yum yum. Well, before we get into that juicy tidbit, can you tell us a little bit about some of the singles that you released this year so far?
Yes. So, Tropicana, actually, that's an interesting story because that's a really, really old song that I've been working on for a while. That's one with Lil Clip. And basically, we recorded a song called Black Magic. And at the same time, we created the idea for Tropicana, and we recorded it, and we kind of had sat on it for like maybe a year and a half, 2 years ish. And then eventually, we decided to go back to the studio, re-record it, with our friend Desmond, and then we got everything like tightened up. We redid it, and then we decided to release it. But that one was a really fun project. Uh,
Nice.
Top of the Mountain, that one was another one that was just from like one of the 6 weeks. I'm trying to think of where I recorded that one. I'm pretty sure that one was at Audible Studios.
Mhm.
Um, but that was actually one of the few ones this year that I recorded, that I didn't just record like in my house or
Okay.
like in my home studio.
Okay. Nice. Nice. And how about the track "Okay"?
Ooh, okay. That's probably like my favorite song, like out of like not just songs that I've made, but just like songs in general. Like the lyrics, not only that I wrote in there, but that Lil Clip wrote, like they just hit like very close to like it explains a lot about relationships and kind of not just like romantic relationships, but relationships within friendships and kind of the like self doubt that kind of goes in between it. And I really like the lyricism that went into it.
No, I was digging it, man. I was digging it, man. Especially Top of the Mountain. I like how you started out that intro with the newscaster talking about one of the upcoming Houston
Yeah.
artists, things like that. Like I thought that was really, really cool, man. And so,
Thank you. Thank you.
no, of course, of course. So besides Top of the Mountain, you said Tropicana, and okay, you did your recording at your home studio.
Yes.
So how was the process like working in your home studio versus sometimes doing it in third party studios?
To be honest, especially when I'm recording like myself, I would much rather be in like a home studio just because it's more comfortable. I'm right there. My microphone's like right next to me, and then I have my laptop right here. So it's like everything's just very comfortable. Plus, it's like it's my room. It's my studio that I built. So it's like I'm just very comfortable in there. But when I'm recording other artists, it's nice to be like in a place like here or like in an actual booth because I can be in. There's a little bit more isolation, and then not only with the isolation, but there's a lot more control that I have behind the scenes. Like I can plug into a lot more like preamps. I can do lots of compressors. I can do a lot of analog type things. But
You got them three chiefs up there that are like, dude, just hold my beer. Let me do what I need to do. All right, you
yo,
know. But when you record at like third party studios, Audible or over here, do you have do you choose that because you have a good relationship with the engineers as well? They kind of already know your workflow and how you want it to sound.
yeah, I've recorded there a few times, so I'm comfortable with it. So I enjoy doing. It's just nice to go there and record somewhere you're comfortable.
Okay, right on, man. Have you ever had times where the engineer was mixing and you're like, "Hey, excuse me, sir, I need some bass. I need you to fix that low." Uh.
Well, I definitely when I go to record, I don't ask like I like to mix my own stuff because I
Huh.
know exactly what I want.
Hmm.
So like I'll take my sessions home.
Okay, nice, nice.
But
Okay, yeah. It's just easier because it's like you already know what you need to do, like you said, and it's
yeah,
like, what
so
I
they'll
don't.
make it sound good while I'm there, and
Hmm.
then when I go home, I'll go and fine tune things and make it sound nice.
Nice, nice. I like that, man. I like that, man. So you've worked over, doing your in your home studio as well. You've done some recordings over at Audible Studios with Random, I presume, and
Yeah.
you've done some sessions here with Will also at the Lab
Yes.
45.
I've
Awesome,
sat in with
awesome.
a lot of sessions while he's recorded other artists, but
Yeah,
it's been a lot of fun.
because you're also a student at San Jack Audio Program as well right now, correct?
Yes.
So how has it been your experience going from producer, musician, vocalist to now student? Like almost like kind of like humbling yourself a little bit.
I love school. Like for me, like especially because like I talk to a lot of my friends who are studying. Like I have friends that are doing chemical engineering. I have some that are going to do like just some general study things, um, business, and just all sorts of stuff. And they enjoy their subjects, but they're like school is kind of like a chore for them. But for me, I'm going to this. I'm going to school. I'm learning about music. I'm learning how to mix my music better. I'm learning how to record artists better. I'm learning like it doesn't feel like I'm going to school. It just feels like I'm going to do something that I enjoy. So it's definitely like almost like a playground for me. But
I agree. I agree. When I was over there, it really did feel like, I mean, it was just overwhelming, just like having all that stuff to play with and things like that. It's like, oh my god, yes, this is so exciting. I'm so
and then
excited.
just about any question you could have, there's someone to answer it. Like the
Yes,
professors are really good over there.
yes. Shout out to the professors at San Jack Central. Y'all are the realest. Thank you for being so
Absolutely.
patient. You know who you are. Okay, much love, much love. Is there any technique that you learned at Sanjak in the audio program that has helped you add on to your workflow from before?
For sure. Definitely a lot of the mixing and recording things because I've learned a lot like of how to record other artists, but I can put that into myself because you learn like how to tell and like where the artist needs to stand in front of the microphone. So learning that, I now know where I need to stand and where to get the best vocal for myself, how to get the best quality, where to mic myself so that I can sound better. Um, and instead of just mixing to make things sound good, I'm mixing for specific things or knowing what it is that I want to do. Like I want to make my vocal more warm, or I want to try and dull it out a little bit. But
I feel that, man. I feel that, man. Is there any kind of specific gear you like to use? Specific mics, preamps, outboard gear?
for outboard gear, not too much, but my home microphone, I have a TLM. I have a 49, but I absolutely like love that thing. Like it's incredible. But um, other than that, that's I have the HS5s. I'm thinking about getting either a subwoofer or something like that. But
Okay. Okay, nice. Yeah, like most people nowadays, they mix inside the box, inside their DAW kind of thing,
mhm,
because I mean, not everybody's got stacks to buy outboard gear.
yeah,
And I
and
mean, thankfully, thanks to some of these Christian audio people, we can now get a digital form of that outboard gear, which is amazing.
it sounds just as good half the time.
Oh yeah,
Like
oh yeah.
I mean, even with like the stuff people are doing with band labs on their phone,
Hmm.
like people have professional sounding recordings that they just did in their bedroom on their phone. Like it's crazy.
If you would just have the know-all, like you said, of where to stand, how to project, kind of things, you can really make magic with just about whatever.
No, for sure.
Do you have any kind of specific EQs or compressors, effects machines that you like to use in your DAW?
Honestly, I think it's a free one, but I've been using like these M Audio plugins.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know if it came with like one of something that I bought or if I just found it online for free. But their EQs, compressors, delays, like all their basic effects in there, they're actually really nice and they sound great. And all of the presets too, the presets are solid.
I
But
like that, man. I like that, man. I think these little speakers that I got here are M audio too. Yeah, and they're not bad for being
mm,
travel size. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Because your girl got a messed up back. She can't carry them 5 inch, 12, 5 inch, 7 inches everywhere she goes. No,
yep.
sir. Oh snap! Keep bumping the thing. Like I got no sense. So you were mentioning earlier that you also make all of your visual videos for your songs. Like you have some of them out on YouTube. Can you tell us
Yes.
about that?
So when I was in high school, I was involved in a program called Night Vision, which was a AV program. Like you take AV, and then if you get accepted into like there's 30 spots out of the whole school, and then we made like these video skits, and we would put them on YouTube. You can probably still find them up there, but like we would make these video skits, like PSAs, all sorts of different things. We did a lip dub video for the whole school, and I produced the music for that.
Wow.
But we did a like not really produced it, but like remixed it.
Mhm.
Um, so I learned a lot about not just video, like filming production, but how to actually edit and then make visualizers, how to use or not Pro Tools, Premiere and After Effects. So I use those to like create visualizers and try and help promote the music a little bit that way.
Okay. Okay. Like your visuals are very abstract kind of art things, whatever.
Yeah.
Is that supposed to help to go with the tempo of the music that's playing as well?
Pretty much. I like to try and find visuals that like match the kind of vibe of what the actual music sounds like cuz my music kind of has a very cinematic type of feel to it
Hmm.
a lot of the time. So I like to try and find something that can help like play into that. And then that speaker logo is it's a logo I created one day in Photoshop and I love it, so I use it for every visual.
Nice. Nice, man. Oof. And then you got the video on top of it. This hustling ain't easy, but he sure as hell makes it look easy, y'all. Like, damn, man. If you ain't taking notes, hit the rewind and take some damn notes, man. For real, for real.
I'm
Whew.
just one of those people that like when I see. if someone wants to, like, if I could pay someone to do it, I would rather just learn to do it myself because I don't want to pay someone to do something and then it not be the quality that I feel like I could do better at.
Or having to go back and edit it, request edits after edit after edit after edit.
Exactly.
And it's like, if you just go in a straight line, like I asked you,
Yep.
instead of doing this, it'd be so much easier.
hmm
I feel that, man. I feel that, man. I'm kind of in the same boat a little bit, but more or less, it's like if I don't do it, it don't get done.
Yep.
So she got to learn. So I respect that, man. I respect that, man.
Thank you.
So what has been one of your favorite classes that you've been taking at San Jack so far?
Right now, I'm taking audio troubleshooting, which is a lot of fun because I'm learning how to like build cables, like build microphone cables and all those, which I didn't realize that I would enjoy so much. But like, there's something just therapeutic about making those wires and soldering. So I've enjoyed that a lot. And then I think it was audio two when I was in the studio with Professor Fiddler and doing like the live recording stuff and learning a lot about that and learning signal flow. Like I've been enjoying, like I enjoy the theory behind audio a lot. Like it's just very, like I don't know, something about it just like makes my head like immersed.
Man, I'm telling you. I mean, I don't. At least for us, I would want to say, you know what I'm saying, because we're both very passionate about it. But it's like a language; like you can't unlearn it.
Exactly.
You know, like you go somewhere and you hear like when somebody rips the cable out without
Mhm.
meeting the channel,
You
and
know
you're
exactly
just
what
like,
it is.
mute the channel before you change the patch, man.
Yep. And it's like things that you realize you've heard a million times and you have no clue what it is and now you know what it is. That's like it just makes you mad.
Yeah.
Before you could ignore it, but now it's like it's just right there in your head.
But isn't it satisfying when you're like troubleshooting something and you like, oh, I already know what that is, and
Mhm.
it's like the first go at resolving it, and it works just fine after
Yep.
that. You're like,
Especially when there's someone like watching you or upset that it didn't work and you can just walk right over and fix it.
it's like, yeah, that's why y'all hired me. Remember?
Yep.
Yeah, you're welcome. Just doing my job, Captain. Like, oh man, fun stuff, man. I'm not gonna say where, but y'all know where. Anyways, no, I feel you, man. Have you? So was cable making something that you did before San Jack, or is that was something you learned at San Jack?
I learned that at San Jack, but now that I know it, I'm definitely going to do a lot more of it.
Oh yeah.
'Cause-
Since I graduated, I've been making cables. I guess something to do, son. And
Yeah.
and even in live sound, you know, I've seen people like the guitar techs, the bass techs. They always have at the top of their rack. They have a soldering
Mhm.
iron
Yep.
to fix those cables if they need to be fixed. Because especially in live sound, you can't just go to the other room and grab one.
Mhm.
You got to fix it right then and there.
Yep. And especially if you know how to, you can fix it in like a couple seconds. It's like there's nothing better than that.
Oh yeah. And like Professor Les says, you just find yourself doing it in front of the TV, just like do 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 do, and it's just like
Yep.
it's so chill. It's
Mhm.
so chill. So with your many talents as musician, vocalist, engineer, producer, artist, do you envision staying just in the studio aspect, or do you want to maybe do something like doing not just performing live, but I mean live engineering as well?
Maybe a little bit. I definitely enjoyed doing live engineering. Like over Thanksgiving, my cousin, my uncle, he plays in a reggae band. So I went out there and I mixed the live audio for his band out there. So it was a lot of fun and I enjoyed it. But I think my main goal is definitely being an artist, being on stage and performing. But
Of course, man. And so, based on your experience doing live shows, things like that, have you ever had times where you had to kindly ask the live engineer to be like, "Yo, man, can we get a little EQ over here? Can we get a little help from my compressors?" kind of thing?
so far, not yet. But at the same time, like I can't really hear my vocals too well when
Mm,
I'm performing, so like I wouldn't know necessarily like those little things,
hmm
but
Okay. Okay, right on, man. Yeah, and that's why my live sound friends, it's very important to make sure that they got enough vocals in their monitor so they're not sitting there screaming and going deaf and going hoarse because you don't know how to mix the monitors well. So be kind, and think of your artist. Think of the monitor mix too. Front of house
Please.
is good, but think of the monitor mix too. Mm-mm-mm. So, do you think that's something like with in ears would be something that you would look into when
Yes,
you're performing live next time?
for sure.
Yeah.
That's definitely something I want to get one day.
Hmm. Right on, man. Right on, man. And now that may be a good thing and a oh no, what did he or she behind the console do kind of
Yep.
thing.
Because if you get some feedback in ears, oh
Ooh, ooh, yeah, 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 yeah. No, 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 no,
yeah,
no, 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 no bueno, no bueno, no bueno. Oh my goodness. And so you recently performed the open mic here a few weeks ago at the Lab 45 for our 2-year anniversary event.
hmm
And you told us that you performed one of your upcoming songs to be on the
yes.
new album. Can you tell us about that?
So that was a song called "We Know." It's kind of about like it talks about like how I'm doing a lot of things behind the scenes and I'm working on lots of projects and I have lots of like things in play, but I'm not necessarily bragging or talking about it or showing off what I'm doing, um, because it's not necessarily important for me to have everybody knowing like what it is I'm doing as long as I know.
Mhm.
Um, like I'm one of those people that is like what I do is for myself. It's not for everyone else. Um, but that's going to be a part of Pain Equals Profit, which is the last release that I'm doing for the 6 weeks of releases, or like every 6 weeks releasing. And it's got about 10 songs on it, and there's some really good songs on it. I'm excited for.
Ooh. So you've been working on that upcoming album all while releasing new singles every 6 weeks. Sir, you need make me need a cigarette. Like my goodness, man. I mean, y'all want to know what 24-hour hustling looks like? Right there, that young man right there. Okay, don't tell me you can't because he's showing you right now that you can if you really apply yourself. My goodness, man, you were just a working machine. Good job.
Sometimes, like, it doesn't necessarily feel like work, but like, I'm definitely always going or always working on something, but it just kind of feels like I'm sometimes it feels like I'm slacking off just because of the fact that making music is what I enjoy.
Hmm.
So it feels like I'm not necessarily um like I'll put things off to like work on music a lot.
Hmm.
Um but I definitely get immersed in music. So,
Okay.
but I do a lot with music.
I see that, man. I see that, man, and it's paying off, man. It's
Thank you.
paying off, man. So I'm just like stuck on how do you keep keep divide your workflow with the current projects with the I'm working on this too kind of thing with your upcoming project and your singles that you're releasing every few weeks.
So I definitely like I keep a calendar so I know exactly how long I have until something releases because the reason I chose 6 weeks is I have 3 weeks that I can promote what I've just released,
Hmm.
and then I have 3 weeks to get ready for the next what's coming up.
Okay.
So then after the 3 weeks of getting ready, there's another 3 weeks of promoting it, and then I get ready for the next song. Um, so it helps me like stay in a pattern, and also it's easy to navigate because it's very just like sequential.
Mm. But writing all that heat, man, like just heat after heat after heat. I'm just like I'm very
Thank
impressed,
you.
man.
Thank
Man.
you.
Wow. Like, are you the kind of, I mean, because you got producer brain, musician brain going on in there kind of thing. Are you a person that like thinks of the beat before or think of the lyrics before, or it can happen either way?
It can happen either way. I feel like probably a lot of the time the beats before, um, but it's kind of like mix and match because what happens a lot is like for me lyrics are very important because like I grew up listening to music with my dad, like listening to rock, and like every day going to preschool, every day going to kindergarten, I was in the back of his car like DJing, telling him exactly what to play, and like I was just always a music fanatic. So like lyrics were always a big deal to my dad too.
Mm.
So that's probably why I got very into lyrics. So I decide like I'll choose a topic or think of what I want to say and
Mm.
then find musical ways to say that go with the beat instead of trying to like just say stuff that sounds good on the beat.
Okay. Okay. Right on, man. I mean, you get you just make it sound so easy. But me, I'm thinking of like trying to write a song, and I'm like, oh my god. I was like, might want to. I don't know. Well, that's why y'all are good at what you do, and I'm good at shutting and enjoying the music. Like, so with the upcoming album coming out, is there going to be any plans for any kind of new shows to commemorate the new album coming out soon?
A little bit over like um the next few months I'm going to be doing a few different shows. I'm going to be doing just stuff like kind of at local bars, kind of like some smaller things, nothing too big though.
Okay. Okay. All right. Is there any kind of specific places that you like to go to or specific areas that you really enjoy the vibe?
Um, well, I started performing actually at this biker bar called Murphy on Mains. That um, when I was in band, or when my sister did color guard, um, the owner, I was good friends with them, so we're able to go and perform there now.
Okay. Okay. Nice. And how have they been receiving your music so far?
They actually really enjoy it. Like
Nice.
I was a little nervous at first to go to a biker bar and perform some like rap and things when all they listen to is like country and rock and like I was nervous, but when we went there, it was a very interesting experience. Like before we even started performing, there was a fight that broke out. These two ladies got into this brawl. Well, me and Lil Clip were just like waiting to perform, and then we perform our first song, "Kill Me Now." Well, one of the ladies that got in the fight is sitting front row, just like bawling, crying, staring at us while we're performing, and we're just trying not to like laugh and like try and like just stay in character and continue to perform. But it was a lot of fun though.
Oh
But
my goodness. Oh my goodness. Drama. Ladies, be nicer to each other. We got so many enemies out there. So many people trying to keep us down. We don't need to keep each other down.
I think they were sisters too.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Look, man. Just a little word of advice, man. Anybody can be put on a GPS bracelet, and that is not cute. That is not cute. It's like walking around with a Nokia 3390 on your ankle. That stuff
Yep,
is messed up.
it's weird.
I don't wish that on nobody.
Mm-mm.
Please don't be that person. Have bigger goals. Okay. So you mentioned that you got to collaborate with your friend and fellow artist Little Clip. Is there any other artists that you may be considering to collaborate with in the future?
For sure, I definitely want to work with like local Houston artists. I've been working with JD Dosage a bit, who I go to school with.
Nice.
But definitely some local people that I'm thinking about. But we'll see what happens. On my new album, there's someone that I sell a lot of beats to that I've done. I was featured on one of his songs. So the first song he's actually going to be featured on. Um, but I don't think I've ever actually met him. He just someone I met online and sell beats to. But thanks to the internet now, I can do things like that.
Yeah,
But
yeah. So now, like, you have one artist recording here, one artist recording there, and then you just bring it together like peanut butter and jelly.
exactly.
Oh, wow. Well, that's so cool, man. That's so cool, man. Well, hopefully, y'all guys do get to meet eventually
No, I hope
and
so.
bless the stage together. That'd be awesome,
For
man.
sure.
Now, I'm gonna throw out a name out there just because it's a very open environment place. But have you ever considered doing some shows at perhaps maybe like Scout Bar?
I've would love to do some performances out there. To be honest, I've never actually done it yet, but
Mm.
I would love to.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I mean, I'm just telling you, just listen to your music from the past couple of days. I'm
Mhm.
like, yo, when are we gonna have that show,
Yep.
man? Like, when's it coming? Come on.
No, but that's probably gonna be sometime soon. Hopefully.
Okay, awesome, man. Awesome, man. And I mean, and at the open mic that you did over here recently, like that was lit, man. That was
Thank you.
lit, man.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today, man.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure.
No, the pleasure is all mine, man. And I mean, I'm literally gonna go back and be like taking all these notes. I'm like, okay, wipe your ass, bring the beat. Like, like, I mean, seriously, y'all, write it down, memorize it, because he's just laying down gold for us for free 99. Okay, you can't find friends like that on the street, for real.
Nah, if I can do it, any of y'all can. I don't know. I'm just a normal guy, I feel like, but we'll see.
Just a normal guy with 10 Captain Kirks over there, like the producer Kirk, the musician Kirk, the vocalist Kirk, the AV Kirk. I mean, man, like he got the whole fleet up there, man. You know what I'm saying? Do you have any last little bit of advice for the listeners?
I would say always be yourself. Don't be afraid to push the boundaries when it comes to like your musical sound, or not even just in music, but like just never be afraid to like just be who you are, and just always push positivity. That's a big thing right now. Everyone's being like very negative, and like I feel like after COVID things got kind of like just everyone's mindsets got rough, but like I just want everyone to remember like we're all the same. Like we're going to get through it.
As he said, we're all gonna get through it, man. We're not that different. You know what I'm saying? Short hair, brown hair, tall, short, whatever. We all got to go to the bathroom. We all got to take ibuprofen when our knees hurt. We're not that different. Okay? And remember, follow this man on Instagram and on all social media platforms at Boosted Mit. Okay? If you don't too lazy to write down the notes, the little gold he left you, contact him. Contact him. He's a nice young man. I'm sure he's going to help you out.
No, for sure. Just send me a DM and we can definitely work.
The door's open. You just got to walk your pretty self in and say, please. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us this week. And we'll talk to you guys next week. Peace.